Hi, I'm Benjamin Hobbs, and I did mine over variable rate farming. Changing planting, fertilizing, and irrigation rates are now just a touch away. According to Farm Industrial News 2009, about 37% of the farmers has adapted this technology to their farm operation. For one example, in 2010, the Corn and Soybean Digest did a survey, and one farmer said he saved between 35 and 40% of nitrogen and other nutrient inputs in Minnesota. Running many different pieces of equipment with variable rate on them as I work. I've got experience around them, and also I wanted to know more about this trend. Today, for sake of time, I will talk about 3 of the most widely used variable rate inputs used in the industry. First, I'll begin with variable rate planting, since it's one of the most highly used. Then move on to variable rate fertilizer application, and finally one of the newest and most advanced forms of variable rate irrigation. The first topic is variable rate planting. According to the Corn and Soybean Digest in 2013, variable rate planting is defined as varying seed rates based on field mapping and growing conditions. There is some technology needed to be in place to start doing this. First, a prescription generating software is needed to make the maps. The most common is like SMS. Next, the equipment needs to be equipped with the variable rate controller, variable rate speed planner drives on the equipment, and then finally a GPS receiver is needed for precise placement. There are many different manufacturers of monitors and variable rate equipments on the market today. John Deere is this one. They call theirs the Seed Star variable rate drive system. Next is Raven. It's an aftermarket. It's in this corner. They call it the Omni Pro farm control system. Case IH product is called the Field IQ, along with the Easy Pilot. And then finally, Precision Planting, which is one of the top aftermarket planting products, makes strictly an aftermarket product called the 2020 Row Flow. The object behind this is to save time and save seed by only planting what the soil can support, and it optimizes yield potential for the crop. Next is variable rate fertilizing. It's very similar. Variable rate fertilizing is cutting down on over-applying nutrients. There are 3 different types of fertilizer applications. There's dry, liquid, and vapor. First is the dry type, and this one, how it gets the variable rate is like the planners, they need to have prescription maps to know the desirable rates to apply. The main part is either an electric or hydraulic motor that controls the rate of the product out of the tank. There also needs to be a computer and GPS receiver like the previous ones. Liquid applicators is just a little bit different. They too need maps, computer, and GPS receiver. But the way they change the rate is by adjusting the speed of a piston pump. One of the most important things to make sure is all the hoses are the same length. If a hose is too short or too long, it'll stop at different times, making it either over-apply or under-apply the nutrients. Vapor fertilizer is the last type. It needs some specialized equipment to make this work. The most common vapor equipment is, or the most common vapor applicated fertilizer is anhydrous ammonia, And the first specialized unit you need is this thermal unit. It keeps the vapor coming out of the tank and turns it into a liquid by keeping the temperatures below a -28 degrees. Next in line is the flow meter, and this relays back to the computer. It tells how much of the product is being put on at once, and also it closes and opens to allow more or less product. Finally is the flow control valve, and this starts and stops the vapor from going. Finally is variable rate irrigation. It's one of the newest variable rate systems out on the market today and most complicated. This is from rinkyirrigation.com, and they are one of the top producers in this technology. There are two different types of variable rate irrigation on the market today. One, first and less advanced, is the pie slices. This cuts the field between 180 pie slices, and that would be this picture. When it comes to a different color of the pie slice, the pivot slows down or speeds up to apply the right rate. To make sure that the pivot's getting the right amount, they start off with little sprinklers at the pivot point, then they get to the bigger ones as you go out. Because of the speed increase, it covers more acres. With these pie slices, it focuses more on the outside of the field because there's more acres to be covered. The second one is more advanced. It breaks the pie slices down even more into rings around the center point. This is the top picture. It's more precise, and each one is about the size of a room. There can be up to 6,400 different watering zones, and that was also from Rinky Irrigation 2013. There are more equipment required for this type. Variable frequency drive pumps control water pressure from one extreme zone to the next, and then an air compressor may be added to help shut the valves off and turn them on. As in the other two forms of variable rate system, a map or prescription must be formed. They get this by doing an electrical conductivity unit test. They map out the topography of the land, and then they can detect any soil changes that occur. There are several maps that they can set up to apply water from, which can include the soil type, slope, drainage, crop, and seed population. As soon as this is all done, it is just download to the panel and you're on your way. Of course, there are many different things that are variable rate performing out on the industry today. These are just three of the main ones. Today I've just touched on some of the new technologies there. Whether it be variable rate planting, fertilizing, or irrigating, with new technologies coming out on the industry, possibilities are endless. All these things are helping us with the mass task of trying to improve yields to cover the increase in demand and population. Thank you.